Hey guys, it's Sim and this is Wrestling. I always forget to put this back on Unlimited as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. As far as tonight's Dynamite goes, the go-home show for this weekend's AEW Cross NJPW Forbidden Door event, which is mainly now just an AEW show with a few New Japan stars sprinkled in there. It's no longer Cross. It's no longer 50-50 like it was when it first started. And as far as the show tonight does go, I wouldn't call it a good go-home. Like, yes, they did a lot of things to build up to the show this weekend, but it didn't do things that really got me more interested. What the go-home show is supposed to do is get you more interested in the upcoming pay-per-view. And this didn't. I'm not saying it was a bad Dynamite or anything. I was bored through a lot of it, and not as bored as I was watching SmackDown last week. That's a completely different kind of bored watching a show. But I just felt like things happened on the show to happen, not in a way to hype you up, I guess you would say. Like, yes, there were some things that happened specifically because they had to happen that way for the pay-per-view, like the tag match going to a draw to make a triple threat. Cool, whatever. Hopefully this means that the Hurt Syndicate's losing the tag titles because it's your triple threat. Maybe we see like Cash Wheeler pin Bandito, but no, then that would make him like #1 contender for the ROH World title. I don't want to see that. Oh crap, they're gonna pin Brody King because I don't see Bobby or Shelton taking the pin. But regardless of all that, that was just an okay, mediocre show. Going into the pay-per-view this weekend, I'm not any more hyped up than I already was. And then I was kind of just here. Like, if this is super hyped and this is I don't care, I was just right in the middle already anyways. And I'm still just right in the middle for Forbidden Door. And we're going to talk about it. But if what Will Ospreay said is true, fuck Tony Khan. Fuck Tony Khan. Just going to say it. I'll give more context and talk about it more when we get into this opening segment. But yeah, if Will said, I was told I can't be cleared in time for the pay-per-view, but I'm still going to work it. We'll talk about it in a minute. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos, that way you know we go live, and that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access. Well, not news. We don't do news over there. We used to. We used to have some news that we'd break over there, but we don't do that anymore. You get access to emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat in the comment section. You get access to, we're going to do a live watch along tomorrow. I'm still figuring out what we're going to watch. It's not going to be anything big or anything, but it should be something fun. We're going to watch a fun match or two. Actually, I think it's going to be two. Anyways, we're going to do that over there as well. And then you get access to our graphics packages and graphics tutorials. Also, remember, if you are watching live on YouTube, you can donate a super chat. Get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new season of Fortnite. You want the Power Ranger skins? Well, use this code. At the shop, you go to the bottom, it's going to say code. You got a code? You get a code. It's PWU NLIMITED. Also, Epic Games does have their Epic savings sale going on right now till tomorrow. So if you want to grab something tonight or tomorrow, use our code PW Unlimited. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Just takes a couple of seconds to type it in, and then we get supported. But with all of that, as far as I'm looking at the Epic Game Store really fast, and they're telling you wish list Lords of the Fallen 2. I mean, if it's as bad as the first Lords of the Fallen, no thank you. Because I played that first one, and no thank you. That game was broke at launch. Never went back. Because why did I not go back? Because I didn't hear anything about it getting any better. No one said anything about it getting any better. But anyways, we do have some bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, I have Peacock, so now I can watch John Cena's final match. And I also got Netflix. I got Spectrum in Cincinnati, so I hopefully get ESPN DTC, despite I got the Disney bundle in the past. And speaking of ESPN, because ESPN took off AEW from their website coverage. Yes, because ESPN is now in bed with WWE, they're no longer covering AEW stuff on their website. You, Esports Gaming Rules, are good for the ESPN direct-to-consumer new streaming service that launches tomorrow because you have Spectrum. Spectrum is one of the 5 cable providers that will get basically the new ESPN service for free. No extra cost. So that is something that you can look forward to. You say, yeah, you have the Disney bundle. That's different. The Disney bundle is Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. This is not ESPN Plus. This is a new service through ESPN. So that's what this is. This is not, and a lot of people have been confused by that. Oh, this is just ESPN Plus with the price increase? No. ESPN Plus is still going to stay what it is. It's a separate thing. This is a different version of ESPN. So now there are basically, it's kind of like back in the day when you had HBO Go, and then HBO Stream. HBO Go was a separate service all along itself. HBO and HBO Stream was basically you have HBO, well, then you get HBO Stream, you just use the app and watch all the HBO stuff there. But then HBO Go was a separate service, I think, that had exclusive content. I don't know exactly because I never subscribed to any of it. But I just know that HBO Stream, and then HBO Go, or whatever they were all called. No one was HBO Go. They were all different things, basically. James Mangold says, I got DirecTV. Then you're good, brother. You should be, maybe. Hold on. Let me double check again. I think DirecTV was on there. I could be wrong. I had seen it on a list before, but let me double check because I have it right here. Because I have the graphic I made with all the 5. The 5 are, I know it's Spectrum and Hulu. Yes, you're good. It's Spectrum, Hulu, Fubo. So it's Spectrum, Hulu, Fubo, DirecTV, and Verizon Fios. So you should be good, brother. And you can test that tomorrow when this new service does launch. Yeah, also John Cena's final match. So it had been rumored that John Cena's final match was going to take place on December 13th. Then there was that one rumor of, well, they've discussed running it against AEW, so that'd be late in December. But then they're like, no, they can't do that if they're on NBC, which they're not anymore, which that's big news. And NBC Sports did confirm today that John Cena's final match will be taking place on December 13th. Now, we don't know where the match is going to be taking place from, but all indications do point to the TD Garden in Boston. So it looks like December 13th from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, at Saturday night's main event, we will see John Cena's final in-ring match. Esports Gaming Rules also says, I was either Tanahashi, Ospreay, or Gabe Kidd. I don't want to do the lights out cage match. I don't fully understand what you're saying. You don't want to see the match? Is that what you're saying? I don't fully get it. He says, I don't want to do the lights out cage match. Then you mentioned Tanahashi, Ospreay, and Gabe Kidd. Well, I don't know what you're actually trying to get there, Esports Gaming Rules. Clarify your bit donation there and just regular comment. But with all of that, we do got to talk about Will Ospreay and Tony Khan and this company. And if what Will said was true, this company is so fucking irresponsible. So AEW Dynamite comes on the air and we hear the theme of Bryan Danielson as he is filling in for Taz on commentary because Taz's knee, he had the knee surgery earlier this year. Kind of bugging him, I guess you would say. He can't travel this long on a flight. We got Danielson to fill in. Now, I don't know if Danielson's also filling in at Forbidden Door or not, but he filled in tonight. He was good on commentary. He was just a bro talking with a lot of technical knowledge. Will Ospreay comes out. Speechless Ospreay took in the chants from the crowd thanking him. They were cheering for him. He said that he was at a loss for words. And Ospreay reminisced about the days when he wrestled in Scotland and loved the food, which got a sausage roll chant. Ospreay has grown up in the front of these fans' eyes, thanking them for always being there and being his people. Ospreay said after the Death Riders did what they did to him, it was the first time that he's felt human. He has always assumed that he could get through wrestling unharmed, but to the point where Taka Michinoku once called him an alien. Ospreay realized that he's going to have to travel down that road that many wrestlers have. He said at least a week ago, I was told that I would not be cleared in time for Forbidden Door. But it's a lights out steel cage, which means it's unsanctioned, which means I'm going to take it up the ass. It's out of AEW's hands. If I get hurt, it's no one's fault but mine. I hope this is a storyline. I really, really, really hope this is a storyline. And even if it is a dumb fucking storyline to tell you that a wrestler is going to go out there and wrestle hurt to the point where doctors have told you not to wrestle. Doctors will not clear you, buddy. It's lights out. It's unsanctioned. So I'm just going to do it anyways. No, that is stupid if it's a storyline. Now, if this is real, if this is a real thing where Will was told, oh, you're not going to be cleared in time, then that's fucking irresponsible on him. And wrestlers like to work hard all the time. So whatever. But it's irresponsible on the company, and more importantly, Tony fucking Khan, if this is real. Now, if it's not real and it's all storyline, eat my words, sorry calling him Tony fucking Khan, whatever. But I don't like the storyline. I don't like the storyline of a wrestler's going to wrestle hurt regardless of what the doctor told him. Now, if you're in the middle of a match and you have a storyline of, I'll pop my shoulder out, but I'm going to finish the match, okay, whatever. But if it's like a week, 2 weeks before the match and doctors are telling you, no, you're not cleared. I hate that. And is that why this is unsanctioned? So they can do that storyline? Are they trying to do a Ospreay as tough as nails kind of thing? No, I'm not a fan of it. I don't really care about the whole, and again, if it's a storyline of the whole, oh, well, they told me I couldn't be cleared, but I'm going to take it up their ass because they can't do anything to stop me because it's unsanctioned. Yeah, that's dumb. Very dumb. Now, is Will going to sign a paper? Are they all going to have to sign something saying it's unsanctioned? And whatever happens to you guys in this match, we're not liable for? I don't know. But I'm just saying. I'm not a big fan of they wouldn't clear me, but I'm still going to fight. Yeah, okay. It's just, to me, that pushes one of the fake aspects of wrestling. Because if it was a real fight, for reals, sanctioned or not, they'd have someone go to him and say, yeah, you're not cleared. And if it's a storyline, then they should have had someone say, you got to sign this paperwork. You got to sign this to waive, liability of the company. They didn't do any of that. He just said, I'm going to take it up the ass. Just like that, too. I'm going to take it up the ass. It's out of their hands. We'll see. We'll see. But he keeps on going. Fans are chanting, please don't die. Ospreay is aware of the risks that he will be taking in this cage match, but AEW means so much to him. He's here to prove a point that he'll be the standard of these three letters. What? The standard of, I don't give a fuck about my body and I'm going to be a cripple in the future? I'm going to be a man that can barely walk? Yeah, okay. That's a standard you want to set for your company, for the people that look up to you. Sure, guy. Sure. There's a chance that he can't be the same Will Ospreay after Sunday. He's leaving it all out there come Forbidden Door. Ospreay is doing this for revenge, as he's entering the lights out cage match with 4 of his best friends wanting the same thing he does. Before doctors take a scalpel to him in his neck, he's going to take a pound of flesh from Jon Moxley. So, does he really need neck surgery? I swear to God, if he does, and he's going to do this match, and I'm not going to rant anymore. It's beside the point. You know my stance on this. I think it's dumb if they're actually going to let him wrestle if the doctors didn't clear him. And I think it's dumb for a storyline of, doctors didn't clear me, but I'm still going to fight anyways. So, yeah. Right on cue, Jon Moxley comes out. Jon Moxley comes out with the rest of the Death Riders. Danielson said that he promised Tony Khan he's a commentator, not seeking revenge or anything, and he's just going to do his job tonight. After an intense face-off, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta slowly joined on the apron. Ospreay said if Moxley wants to get rid of him, you don't have to have your boys here to do it. Do it yourself. Before Moxley could say anything, Jet Speed would run down. This is funny. Jet Speed runs down, and there's like 4 people in the ring. So it's like, no, never mind. It's 3-on-3 because Will's still there. But anyway, they're all fighting. And then Tanahashi just comes sauntering down because he's in this triple threat. He just comes taking his time to get in the ring, kind of slides. I'm just like, man, this guy just don't care. He's just going to take his time. Funny as hell. But that does set up our, which we already knew was already officially announced, but that does bring us into our first match of the night. Triple threat, trios match, I mean. Death Riders versus Jet Speed and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Okay, Ballard, yes, I did see that. The NASCAR schedule came out today. I've just been so busy with other things. Other work things that's not wrestling related stuff. I haven't been able to comment on the NASCAR schedule, but I did see that. And I'm glad they're going back to Chicagoland. I am very happy that we're going back to Chicagoland Speedway. But as we move forward here, give me 2 seconds to respond to a message. Sorry, working on so my production company is working on a proposal to produce a company's podcast they're putting together. And so we're going back and forth with that company right now, and it's kind of time sensitive. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay. Cool. Got it. So, getting back here, let me switch my notes back over. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. As far as this match does go, Tanahashi and Moxley slugged it out right away before the Death Riders made fast tags, keeping Tanahashi isolated on their side of the ring. There's a dragon screw that sent Yuta to the floor, and Bryan Danielson called Tanahashi a master of the dragon screw leg whip. Mike Bailey then made the tag and lit up Yuta with some kicks until a running shooting star got a near fall. Yuta dodged a high kick and hit an angle slam before tagging in Claudio. Right in front of the referee, Bryce Shafir just swept out Kevin Knight's legs from under him. Like, what? He just said, oh, you want to get involved? You're out of here. So he ejected her. At least he did something. Should have been a DQ. Kind of, he wasn't the legal man, so I guess you could say it wasn't a DQ, but at least he did something. At least he did something. Ospreay strolled out on the ramp and carried Shafir off with him. There was a giant swing from Claudio on Bailey that was broken up by Knight with a leaping over into a swinging drop kick. Springboard dive by Knight that took things to a commercial break. Even though the heels had the advantage, or even though the babyfaces kind of had the advantage going into the break, it was all Death Riders from here, picking apart Kevin Knight during the picture-in-picture break. Finally, a huge drop kick to Claudio and a thrust kick to Moxley led to Tanahashi getting the hot tag as he flattened Yuta with a flying forearm and a somersault senton off the second rope. Bailey then sent Moxley to the outside, where he hit a tope springboard moonsault to the floor. Knight then flew in with a missile dropkick on Castagnoli. There's a sling blade that connected on Yuta, but Moxley and Castagnoli made the save, only to be cut off by Jet Speed, and we get a 3-way twist and shout. The Bullet Club War Dogs then run out. I go, what the fuck is going on here? Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, Robbie X. Why are all these guys here? Because they want to take out fucking Tanahashi so he doesn't make it to the cage match. Also, that's my other thing. Why is fucking Jet Speed in this match? They're not in the cage match. So what do they have to do with all this? Why are they fighting the Death Riders? Again, just nonsensical, randomly putting random ass people in random ass matches. While these guys come down, I do appreciate Excalibur trying to explain to us who they are. He's like, that's a Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, Clark Connors, Robbie X. They're the Bullet Club War Dogs. And he's like, Drilla Maloney, the guy in the cowboy hat. Clark Connors, the guy in the cowboy hat. Drilla Maloney in the white shirt. The other guy's Robbie X. So like, I appreciate that, but I bet you there's still a lot of people going, who? Or as New Day would say, who. Anyways, camera's cut to Will Ospreay on the ramp, and he's like got this big body bag over his shoulder, and everyone's like, who's in the body bag? Is it Marina? We saw him leave with Marina. Has he got Marina in the bag? Is it Marina? Oh my God. And everyone's guy just looks and gets distracted. What's Will doing? This allowed Jet Speed to take control and take out Claudio and Moxley with double dives, while Tanahashi hit a high fly flow on Wheeler Yuta, pinned him to pick up the victory. Yeah, this was a good match early on, and then once the Bullet Club War Dogs came out, it just got way too convoluted, way too silly, and just too much going on. Post-match, War Dogs and the Death Riders attacked Tanahashi and Jet Speed in the ring, while the Young Bucks appeared and laid out Will Ospreay on the ramp with a super kick. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly would then make the save. Why the fuck are these guys coming out to make the save? What do they have to do with any of this? Like, we've never seen them friends with Jet Speed. We've never seen them friends with Will. Like, they're not friends with Tanahashi. What? None of this makes sense. Why are they out here and now they're going to fight the Young Bucks on Saturday? Cool. We all think it's Marina in the bag, but it wasn't. Oh my God, Swerve. Not Swerve, but Darby. It was a Swerve because it was Darby who exploded out and pounced at Claudio. Yops then showed up and brawled with the War Dogs, and it's all out chaos, and I just fucking gave up paying attention. I just stopped writing notes and said, all out chaos. They're fighting everywhere. Cool. There's a video package for Hangman Page versus MJF at AEW Forbidden Door this weekend, and fuck me with this dumbass storyline here too. We'll get to it here when we get to it, but they did a great thing last week where Hangman coerced MJF into using the contract, executing the contract. I didn't know he can backtrack. And they made fucking Hangman look like a goob. Goob. So another thing that kind of was dumb on this show, Cope and Cage. They're in the ring with Shivani. They're, Cope's kicking in the crowd or whatever. Cage comes out, joins him in the ring. Danielson said last week he saw one man hug another one. Didn't seem like the hug was given back, really. He's like, it was a great reunion to see, but is it really copacetic or all that? And Cage said, first thing first, Glasgow needs to sit down and shut up. Cope ripped the mic away and said, what are you doing? We love the fans. They love us. We're the greatest tag team of all time. Or we said one of. And he goes, you're being an asshole. And he goes, well, I am an asshole. He goes, but you're my asshole. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing here? What are we doing? Friday then asked if Cage just found himself like Cope asked him to. And he said no. He's like, I found the perfect way to be me. So I need your help with these guys, and then I'll help you with FTR, and then we go on our way. That's all it is. I'm like, scratching my head going, really? This is fucking stupid. He wants to still be a heel, but he needs Adam's help. So if Adam helps him with his problem, he'll help Adam with his problem, then they go their ways. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all. So Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne then come out, and there's no Nick Wayne. And I'm like, ooh, this ain't good. Or is he going to attack from behind? And it wasn't good. So they're out talking, and they're just doing their shtick or whatever. And then she goes, I am the greatest mother. The mother of Nick Wayne. How dare you boo me? And they point up, and there's Nick Wayne in his gym at his house, in his garage, whatever you want to call it, sitting on his ring, crutches. I go, oh, fuck, that ain't good. Basically said last week, Christian broke his foot with the spike thing. And because of that, he can't work Forbidden Door. But this isn't a good thing for Christian because the match is still on because they have found a replacement. Then we get this cool little video, a guy laying on a table in what looks like a horror movie doctor's office kind of deal, like a underground basement doctor's office. And it's like Dr. Frankenstein getting his monster going. And we see this thing and I go, oh, who is that? And all of a sudden he sits up and it's fucking Luchasaurus. He then storms out to the ring in green and black. And not really storms, but he comes down all pissed off. And He's all raw. He gets in the ring. Christian kind of looks at him like, oh, you're back. Oh, what does this mean? He goozles Christian. Yeah, boom. Drops Christian with the choke slam. Just dropped him right on his fucking head. Right on the back of his head. Christian's head, all kinds of, yeah. So Luchasaurus is back. They're still calling him Killswitch. And now it will be Cope and Cage against Killswitch and Sabian at Forbidden Door. Nick Wayne is out. Cope got taken out too, but I didn't actually see that. Looked away for half a second. I'm like, why is Cope already knocked out? Who took out Cope? Might have been Kip Sabian. I don't know. But yeah, Killswitch is back. Or Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call him. Crowd was chanting, Luchasaurus, Luchasaurus, even though he's back as a heel. Then we're in the back, and Mark Briscoe's like, you see MJF? Where's MJF? I didn't find MJF. Tell me where MJF is. I'm going to find him, and I'm going to kill him. I traveled all the way across the pond to kill him. Well, he almost got killed instead. Ricochet's backstage with the Gates of Agony and are immediately interrupted by MJF, who said, bald people, and the thought of being bald freaked him out. But he's here to conduct some business. Well, he doesn't like Ricochet. The enemy of my enemy is a friend of who I need to help me. And I need to help you, or have you help me take out Mark Briscoe. Ricochet said he'd love to see MJF run around like a chicken with his head cut off, but admits that he has an issue with Briscoe as well and accepts the offer. They shake hands until MJF tells the camera, shut off. And then we don't see anything else. But then we got FTR and Brodito, winners, to get a tag title shot at Forbidden Door against the Hurt Syndicate. Now, this match had a 30-minute time limit, and it went the 30-minute time limit. Now, early on in this match, the crowd was kind of meh, and the match was kind of meh. Like, there was a spot where I don't know what the hell was really going on, but Dax goes and grabs a chair from the timekeeper's area, and the ref's like, don't use that. So he throws it into the ring. The ref catches it in the ring, and then just throws it out of the ring. And then nothing happens as everybody in this match, including Stokely at ringside, is just standing there watching going, what the fuck did I just see? Why would you do that, Dax? He didn't do it to like distract the referee so Cash can do something nefarious. He didn't do it to distract the referee so Stokely can pull someone off the apron or crotch him. No. He had this chair in his hand, threw it from the floor up over the ropes. Referee caught it, like cool on him, popped the crowd, caught it. And everyone's just, Bandito, Brody King, Cash, they're all just standing there going, what's going on? And I'm just like, what the fuck was this? And then the ref just throws it out of the ring onto the floor. And then Stokely's got to like move out of the way. Like, so dumb. Stupid. Anyway, as far as the matches go, Benito and Harwood kick things off with some slow-paced action. Each were trying to jockey for advantages with multiple shoulder tackles, headlock takedowns, leg sweep attempts, leading to a stalemate. Wheeler tagged in as Bandito started up. I wrote that backwards. I said up the ramp. It's ramp up. I should have put ramp up. Started to ramp up his offense. He teased a dive, but FTR ran for higher ground. Harwood tried throwing in multiple chairs, but the referee, Paul Turner, impressively caught one of them. Well, actually, I think it was two of them, and threw it out of the ring. And I'm like, it would have been, like I said, different if this was to cause a distraction of the referee. But it wasn't, because everybody just stood still, stopped, and watched. Nothing happened. It was like they're playing before the show kicks off. Hey, ref, catch, pull. I don't know. Anyways, the Hurt Syndicate were shown watching backstage as Brody King tagged in and ragdolled Wheeler. But as Harwood hit a pile driver, King no-sold, stacked FTR on top of each other, and did a huge running senton. There's a Cazador splash combo by Bandito. No, it was Brodito. That we thought had them the win, but they didn't. During the break, it was all FTR. But then when things returned, King immediately made a hot tag to Bandito, who ran wild. There's a code red that got a close near fall on Harwood as Bandito then sent both men crashing to the outside, leading to an attempted dive, only for FTR to catch him in midair and slam him face first onto the apron. More just random stuff going on here and there and whatnot until Arcadiora finally eventually tells us, hey, 25 minutes has elapsed. And commentary's like, oh man, they're getting down the wire. So King ate a Shattered Machine. Only FTR missed the blind tag. Bandito flew in with the victory roll on Wheeler and got a 2 off of it. Then a wonky looking Lamastrigal attempt for another near fall. FTR then hit an inverted Doomsday device, but Bandito kicked out. King then saved Bandito from a Shatter Machine and tried choking Harwood off the apron before both slugging it out. Eventually, we get to the 1 minute call, and they're all fighting everywhere. And at some point here, Brody King had been busted open and bleeding pretty well. FTR kind of had the advantage. They set up a table against the barricade for some stupid ass reason because it's like, you're not going to use it or you're DQ'd. What the fuck is this? Wheeler then went to the top to hit a dive onto Bandito, but King ran in, shoved his partner out of the way, and Wheeler crashed and burned as the time expired. Arcadiora tells us the time has elapsed. This match has ended in a draw. And then we wait 2 seconds. She goes, but I've just got word from Tony Khan. It has been made official. Both teams will challenge the Hurt Syndicate at Forbidden Door. Sure. It's not like it was a great match, and now I'm super hyped up to see it with the Hurt Syndicate in there. It was just an okay match. Cool. This is Triple Threat now. Oh, we got a video package hyping up Okada and Swerve for the unified title on Sunday. That should be a really good match. It's a pay-per-view, so Okada usually brings his working boots to the pay-per-view. And I think Swerve can get a good match out of Okada. Because we got 2 different versions of Okada. Technically, sometimes 3. We got the I don't give a fuck, I'm not going to do anything really Okada, which is a lot of time on just Dynamites. We got the half-assed Okada, where, yeah, I'm going to do my elbow drop. I'm not going to jump, but I'm going to just fall more aggressively. And then we got the, like with Will Ospreay last year at Worlds Collide, we got the, oh, I'm going to be New Japan Okada. This man, he knows when to bring in, he knows when to not screw with his body. So then the AEW World Champion power walks down to the ring. Hangman gets in there and he addresses the Scott crowd. Page says that he was attacked last week in the parking lot by MJF, which is how MJF likes to handle things. Opportunistic? Yes. But if MJF had a problem with him, with anything that he does, talk it out. Because he doesn't have the balls to come to him face to face anyways. MJF music hits, but he doesn't appear. Tony Schiavone then stands up and goes, Hangman, I just got word from MJF that he's got a message on the big screen for you. But if you leave the ring before it's over, something bad is going to happen. So we cut to MJF in the back with the Gates of Agony, Ricochet, and we see that they've got Mark Briscoe tied up and gagged. And he's barely conscious, they say. They're like, he looks like he's barely conscious. MJF said that Page will give him what he wants. 3 simple requests, then they'll let Mark go. But if not, and he dumps gasoline on him, there's 3 things that I want. He says, MJF said at Forbidden Door, the title will change hands due to it being no disqualification. No, that's not it. He said, I wrote no disqualification. That's not it. He goes, the title can change hands via disqualification. The title can change hands on a count out. And I don't have to use my cash in. I don't have to use my contract from the Casino Gauntlet match. Bishop Khan, he goes, lighter. Bishop Khan hands him a lighter. He goes to stroke it. He's like, I'll give you 5 seconds. You got to the count of 5. He's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's like, fine. Hangman gives in. You can have it all. I don't care. And they're like, Hangman's a real hero. And I'm like, no, Hangman's a real goober, real dumb looking jobber. Like, I did not like this storyline here because it made Hangman look weak. It made Hangman look dumb. Like, I loved the segment last week where he got in Max's face and he says, you really want me? You want this match? Use the contract. And Max is like, fine. And he goaded Max into it. That I thought was fantastic. But then to come back this week and just negate all of that? Dumb. Stupid. It should be if he says, and I know what people are going to say, I'll get to it in a second. If he says, I'm executing the contract and the match is official, there's a graphic, they've announced it on TV, everything, it's being advertised, then the contract should be gone from his hands. Same with Athena. But I know what people are going to say. Well, Max didn't sign it yet. He didn't sign the contract yet. That's what people are going to say, try and get around it. But I feel like once he says, I'm executing the contract, they make it official, Tony Khan signs off on it and all that, the contract's no longer void. The contract can't be, I'm rescinding, but I'm still going to get the match because I'm going to burn your friend alive, Kentucky Fried. No. Dumb. So we turn for commercial break, and Page is in the back just wrecking things. Where's MJF? He finds Ricochet and he slams him up against a wall. He's like, where's MJF? The Gates of Agony were late to come save Ricochet. Bryan Danielson in commentary said there's nothing scarier than a determined and vengeful Hangman Page. And Excalibur tells us how stacked the deck is going to be against him on Sunday. So what are we supposed to think? Ricochet and the Gates of Agony are going to help MJF? We'll see. We'll see. But with all of that, before we get into our main event match here, which was Toni Storm and Alex Windsor versus Athena and Mercedes Moné, let's hear from our sponsor. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3 speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. All right, we got some more bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, that's what I was talking about because the lights out cage match may be, quote, risk versus reward for the future of AEW and JPW stardom because of what Ospreay say. What does that have to do with stardom? There's no stardom wrestlers in this match. Just saying. It has nothing to do with stardom. But yeah, risk versus reward. Because again, I'm not going to harp on it. I already ranted about it. If he's really injured and the doctors told him he's not cleared, but he's going to wrestle anyways, dumb. The storyline is, doctors told me I'm not clear, but I'm going to fight through it anyways. Still dumb. Not a fan of those kinds of storylines. Now, if it's a obvious fake injury, or if it's a Finn Balor situation where they're like, oh, it looks like he popped his shoulder out, popped it back, and he finished the match. Okay, whatever. If it's in the middle of the match, but if it's this, I'm going to go in so hurt that the doctors won't clear me, so it's got to be unsanctioned, I don't know. He says, do you see Mercedes losing the TBS championship despite her Rev Pro Women's British title match on the same weekend? And we see her freak out, lose the TBS championship? Probably not. Probably not. I don't see her losing it here. This is the best opportunity for them to take it off of her. Have Alex Windsor pin, not Bozilla, but the other one. I don't even know who the other girl is. But you can have Alex Windsor pin her and get the win, the one from CMLL, if you really want to take the title off Mercedes. But I see Mercedes by the end of this weekend having a fucking 9th belt around her waist or on her arm. She's in another fucking title for title match. As far as this match does go, it was a fine main event. These 4 worked very well together. Nothing bad about the match, but I wouldn't call it like main event caliber. It was just okay. It was a fine match. Like nothing special. CMLL representatives were shown watching from the crowd. We saw Bozilla, and I didn't write down her name because I know her name. They didn't say her name, at least not that I saw. With a girl from CMLL that's going to be in the 4-way. And Windsor started things off with Moné with a kick. Moné responded with multiple springboard arm drags. Windsor rolled through a crossbody, powered Moné up with a fall-away slam, throwing Moné right into Storm, who gave Moné a good whiff. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, she's literally sniffing Monet from like her neck up, and I'm like, what the hell? And then she goes all full Austin Powers, fat bastard. Get in my belly. Get in my belly. And I'm like, what the shit? And this kind of freaks out Mercedes, so she tags out. Athena comes in and floated over a hip toss into a spinning arm drag, mocking Storm's pose. Storm hit multiple trips, snap drop kicks, backbreaker before tagging in Windsor. The two, Windsor and Athena, go at it for a little while. Windsor then worked over Athena during the break. As things returned with her ducking an Athena forearm, which Monet took by mistake. This then allowed Storm to get the hot tag, and there were some Mongolian chops that were dished out in bunches before a Thez press took out Athena, and there was a fisherman's suplex for a 2. It was almost a kind of Judas Effect move from Storm and Windsor, like duo Judas Effects. It was more like a short arm lariat, I guess you would say. Storm tried to go for the spiked Storm Zero, but Monet sent Windsor crashing off the top. At one point, Windsor made the hot tag, delivering a series of misdirect clotheslines. There was a Blue Thunder Bomb at one point, which Athena broke up the pin of. Storm then briefly got the TCM chicken wing in, but both spilled to the outside, where Athena hit a Storm Zero on Storm on the steel steps. There's a series of reversals by Windsor and Monet, who didn't see Athena make the blind tag. Windsor then laid out Monet with a Samoan drop, sank in the Scorpion Deathlock, and Monet tapped. But Aubrey Edwards had to tell Windsor that Monet wasn't the legal competitor. It was Athena. Athena then all of a sudden flies in with the O-face out of nowhere and pins Alex Windsor to pick up the victory. There we go. Athena gets the win. Mercedes gets the win. Post-match, the doctor is tending to Toni Storm, and commentary is really playing it up like she's hurt or something. They're like, man, the doctor's really giving her a lot of attention. Wow, the doctor's really paying a lot of attention and giving a lot of, look over to Toni. I hope she's all right. And she's like clutching her neck and her shoulder, but more the neck and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I feel like if she was hurt, we would know by now because the show was filmed hours ago. Like, it wasn't a live Dynamite. The TBS champion then had what are you guys saying her name was? I thought Persephone. That's her name. Okay. TBS champion Mercedes Moné held her TNT title in the face of Persephone, who pie-faced her straight to the ground. Windsor also stared down Persephone while Billy Starks celebrated with Athena and Moné on the ramp to end the show. There we go. That was Dynamite. It was a fine show. Nothing special. Should be special because we're going into the pay-per-view, but it was just an okay show. With all of that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Dynamite. As far as these polls do go, let's go and refresh them. Uh-oh, did I not get a community poll? Let me see. Hold on. Nope, I did. Did I? Uh-oh. I'm on the wrong page. That's why I don't see it. There it is. All right. So as far as the polls do go, as far as the Threads poll does go, 73% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll here, 42% didn't like the show, 36% did, and 21% thought it was just all right. Ooh, more people didn't like it than did. As far as the community poll does go, 69% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 14% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll here, 81% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 2% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, we'll be back live on Friday, both Friday morning, afternoon-ish time, depending on where you live, with the wrestling wrap-up, and then Friday evening, actually, Friday afternoon, for Friday Night SmackDown, because remember, guys, SmackDown's airing early. Where are they this week? SmackDown's airing early, and if you got that international Netflix, then you got early SmackDown. Get that VPN, Urban VPN, SmackDown from Dublin, Ireland. That show's airing at 3 Eastern. As soon as that show's done, we're going live. So just a heads up. But with all of that, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit a parade really fast.